What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? I would like to welcome you all to another edition of Wayne's Perspective, where we operate in discipline, decency, integrity, and respect. And I'm coming through with another video just for you. And as you can tell by the title of this, yeah, this is going to be another interesting one, y'all. So bless my heart. I'm about to do a video on Sexy Red, y'all. Okay. And this is going to be in the form of a reaction video. Much credit to Philip Scott at the Philip Scott Show. Shout out to that brother. Go ahead and give him a follow if you haven't done so already. And fair usage for the video, fair usage. So before we get to his video, let me say this, y'all. I said this in maybe one or two other videos. So this is going to be a brief word, or at least I'm going to try to make it a brief word on Sexy Red. Okay. For starters, I'm not a fan, and that's not just because of the trash music. I'm just going to keep it real with y'all. I think the music is trash. There's nothing valuable or anything positive I can say about this music. It just isn't anything good for me to say about it. It's the fact that she's a black woman doing this. Now let's keep it real. If this was any other woman, it would still be bad. But the fact that she's a sister acting like this, and there's other ones that's lined up with her acting the same way, but it seems like she's at the top of the proverbial mountain acting like this. It's sad. And it does give black women a bad name across the board. And apparently, once I get to Philip Scott's video, there's black women, in growing numbers that's starting to push back. Those numbers need to grow into it needs to grow to a point where you can't deny it anymore, but it needs to grow. Let's say that. I also said this, in any other aspect, she would be a pretty girl, now, take the makeup and all that away. Yeah, she doesn't look as visually appealing, but I'm gonna tell you something. There was a picture that I've seen of her, and I think it was with Sukiyana. I don't have much to say about her, and one other person, and I want to say it was at some type of gathering. I don't know if it was a wedding or not, but Sexy Red was dressed up. She was in white, and I think she had some heels on or something like that. Now, when I look at that picture, as well as a couple of her other pictures where she's not in her image, if you will, she could be pretty. Just imagine if the image and how she portrayed herself was different, she could really make a difference out here. And if she wasn't on the level that she is now, she could still turn some heads. So I would say that. So in any other aspect, she would be looked at as a pretty girl. But all of that goes right out the right out the window when you look at, who she is, what she quote unquote represents, and the type of trash music that she makes, her videos and all the other stuff. I mean, it's on full display, and nobody should be looking up to her as any type of role model, especially young black girls. Young black girls. If there's anybody that they should be looking up to that happens to be a woman, look up to your mom. But then again, if the mom supports Sexy Red and support the likes of Sexy Red and listens to her music, then what does that tell you about the parent? But I digress. But like I said, in any other aspect or in any other era, if she wasn't Sexy Red, if she was somebody else, or basically if she was her true self without the extra added nonsense, she would still be able to turn some heads. But that's another story for another day, But outside that, man, apparently she did some stuff recently at the BET Awards. I don't have anything to say about the BET Awards. Just anybody that's coming with the heat and calling out the stupidity and the nonsense that we continue to see at the BET Awards. For everybody that's calling it out, shout out to you. Obviously BET is not the same channel anymore. I mean, that's clear to any of us, especially clear to us who grew up, or should I say, grew up in an area where BET was that channel. That's no longer been the case ever since 2001, but that's a whole nother story too. And a word on the BET Awards, if I may. the last time I watched this show, not in its entirety, but the last time I watched maybe 30 to 45 minutes of it, or maybe even an hour, this had to have been back in 2008. And what I do remember was that Nas, my boy, my number one favorite MC of all time, he did a performance and he performed the song Hero. I can't recall if Carrie Hilson was with him or not, but he did that song, and he did like a a rendition that had a lot of passion to it, because that song Hero is an important song. And by the way, go back and revisit that song if you haven't done so in a while. It's a great song. But what I gathered then is that the people weren't reacting. Now I don't know if something else is going on or what, but they were not reacting to that at all. They clapped when he came out, they clapped at the end, but in the midst of him doing his performance, it's almost like he was performing to an audience of zombies, and I don't mean to say that word like that, but they might as well have been looking on their phones or been totally checked out during that performance. And since then, I have not watched anything resembling the BET Awards since then. Now, a part of that is Nas, but then another part of me was I'm not going to watch it anyway, because at that point, hip hop was, changing. It was still changing, but it was taking a turn for the worse in some aspects. So I was like, you know what? No, they didn't give Nas the attention that he deserved that night. And plus, I wasn't impressed with the rest of the show, after that, so I turned it off, never turned it on again. And quite frankly, I never watched the BET Awards. I would never go there. You could give me free tickets, I would sell them if anybody wants to buy them, but I would not waste my time or my presence going to no show like that. Even if it's supposed to be a night where we celebrate Black accomplishment, but that's not the case anymore. And quite frankly, these days, if we do have a show that's supposed to celebrate our accomplishments, all it's going to be is what we're seeing at the BET Awards. It ain't going to be anything different. And if it is different, it's not going to get the traction and the views that the BET Awards get, which is another sad thing altogether. But I digress. But again, if you watch that nonsense, more power to you. But I would not waste my time, watching some mess like that. But let's keep it going. So, like I said, a lot can be said about Sexxy Red, y'all. I've been watching, a lot of videos on her over the last year or so, and basically everything that I've seen and listened to is spot on, from other content creators when they talk about her, and ratchet, it's beyond ratchet at this point, and fill in the blank with any kind of adjective you would like. They all apply here, they just do. And now we've seen people on stage, performing while they're pregnant, but her, it's a different level, a different level. And then, she had now I'm not sure how far these went, and thankfully there hasn't been nobody on any type of social media saying that they purchased these products. And if they did, please direct me to the video. I would love to see it. But remember, she was supposed to have some type of like perfume or something that were made with let's just say certain smells that no self-respecting Black woman would ever put inside a bottle and sell it as perfume. I think one of them I remember hearing about was, I think, oh my God, I think one of the fragrances, quote unquote, were like a vaginal type smell or something like that. I know that's basically the most clean way that I can describe it, but when she described it, it was not as clean. So I hope no self-respecting woman of any kind purchased any of that mess. And if they did, I hope they're not on social media talking about it. But at the same time, like I said, if somebody has did a video talking about it, I would love to see it, because no self-respecting woman should, number one, think about purchasing something like that, but number two, to actually wear it. Now look, let me say this too before I finally get into the video. What self-respecting man you think is going to walk around with you smelling like that? I rest my case. So y'all, man, a video on Sexxy Damn Red. Bless my heart. But without further delay, let's go ahead and get into Philip Scott's video. Shout out to him. Follow him if you haven't done so already. Fair usage for the video. Fair usage. Let's
Starting to see
go.
more and more women come out against Sexy Red. Now we know Sexy Red is, pretty popular.
Okay, now let me say this. I'm stopping it early. Okay, I should have mentioned this earlier, but I'm going to mention it now. Okay, is she popular? Yes. Now, okay, let's keep it real, fellas. Okay, even though she's the most ratchet of the ratchet and she's everything that a black woman should not subscribe to be, the girl can dance. I'll give her that. She can dance. For the looks of her, she know how to put on a show, even though the show is, visually terrible. She can dance. I give her that. If I give her credit for anything doing this show, I give her credit. She is not my definition of sexy, not in this get up, but she can dance. I'll give her that. So there is some talent somewhere, even though us as fellas and even most black women are tired of the twerk culture, but she can dance. Let's go,
Sexy
y'all.
Red is the epitome of ratchet. And, we all know some ratchet people in the black community. We know a Sexy Red in just about every city in America. But it's the thing. Sexy Red and those who are ratchet like that usually are in certain neighborhoods and in certain environments. They're
Yep,
not platformed
that's
in
right.
the mainstream. And what you're starting to see, even some black women are starting to see this now and say this, is that this woman should not be platformed on the mainstream because, like the old Canon commercial with Andre Agassi, image is everything. Let's go ahead and roll this clip.
I hate that Sexy Red. I promise you, I hate that girl. I hate her. I hate her. I wish somebody would make a diss record against her. I think I'm about to write a diss. I don't like that. I don't like her at all. Like she be single handedly playing in y'all face. And I said to myself, who the fuck is her fan base? This is why I hate when y'all listen to her music. Like y'all keep saying like, yeah, man, but the beat hit. I don't give a fuck how much a motherfucking beat hit. Let me tell you something. Every time I hear that in my motherfucking car, I turn her shit off because I know she detrimental to the black community. I know she
Hold on.
motherfucking influencing young girls to pop they open for a baby. I know that. I know that's what they're doing. And in the same breath, she's influencing these young girls to be ratchet, nasty, and trifling. And then she's telling y'all that y'all got carpet hair. So not only is she's influencing y'all to do that, but she's also insulting y'all at the same time.
Okay, now let me pause it right there. That's the part I was waiting to get to. So it does boggle the mind why people would still support people who insults them. So let me keep it on Sexy Red and not get off subject here. So I know what the thinking is. See, she can insult her audience, and the reason why the support barely moves is because, see, here's that thinking, and I talked about something similar in another video. The thinking is, well, she ain't talking about me. She's not insulting me, but she insulting an entire group of people that looks like you. What makes you so special that you get a pass, as in she's not talking to you? She might as well be talking to you because she's talking to the majority of the people that, not only support her, but those same people look like you. I do not get that line of thinking at all. I'm not going to support somebody that um insults my people. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not going to do that. I don't give a damn how good the music is. And this lady right here, now I wouldn't go online saying I hate her or somebody. The closest I say is, either I don't have too much to say or I'm not a fan of that person, but I'm not going to get online and say I hate somebody. I'm just not going to do that. And plus, she's an entertainer. I'm not going to, well, as much as an entertainer as she could be, but I'm not going to allow myself to get that bent out of a shape to say I hate somebody, especially the likes of Sexy Red. But she also made a point about, influencing young girls. And I said this too. Young girls do not need to be listening to that music. You do not need to be consuming material like that and you're 5 and 6 years old. I mean, come on now. And then some supporters want to say, well, okay, well, you can blame the parents. Yes, the parents have a lot to say in that, but you also can't turn around and say, well, it's all about having fun. No, everything is not about having fun. And 5 and 6 year old girls should not be having that type of fun. You know, that music is not for them.
I
Really.
hate that. I promise you. I hate the fact that social media make everybody famous. I hate this. That's why every time I see one of my sisters going in on that, I repost, share, like, comment as much as I can. As much as I can. If y'all women up here got younger girls, okay, and within their teenage years, please talk to your girls, please talk to your teenagers about this. Make sure you tell them
Right.
that this is not the way to go, because that's her fan base. Because everybody that I talk to don't really like her.
What y'all don't know about Sexy Red, her management is, the folks. Let me say that, right? It's not
Right.
black people managing her. And we're seeing the things that she's doing. She's really like a minstrel show, be on with you at this point. Because at
Clearly.
least when Lil Kim was out there, Lil Kim was, yeah, Lil Kim was out there for her time. Yes, she was. But she was not like Sexy Red. You know what I'm saying? I'm
True.
gonna say this much: you used to think Megan the Stallion and Cardi B was, oh my god, they were so out there, but Sexy Red tops them.
Yes. Now, I paused it right there because I want to talk about Lil Kim now. He's making some good points about Megan Thee Stallion. You know, now visually she looks good, but musically I'm not a fan. Cardi B is easy on the eyes, but I'm definitely not a fan of hers. But I see the points that he's making. Now, let me go back to somebody I am a fan of, and that's Lil Kim. Now, I talked about this in the prior video, so I'm going to talk about it here. Now, I was a fan of Lil Kim since Players Anthem in 1995. So I definitely was looking forward to that debut album, Hardcore, in 1996. And I still own it to this day. And as a matter of fact, when I started collecting CDs, that was one of the first CDs I bought, from Target, $13.99. But so Lil Kim, see, I'm gonna focus on Lil Kim. I'm not gonna bring Foxy Brown into it because he only mentioned Lil Kim. So at the time when that hardcore promotional picture came out, and fellas, if y'all was around during that time, y'all know what picture I'm talking about. Now that picture blew us away. When I first saw it, even as a 12-year-old preteen, I was like, damn, and the fellas, we liked it. Now that picture was for promotional purposes, but it was for the men too, you know. So the thing with that was, it was for promotion and it was for the men, but us as, preteens and teens, we was looking and we liked what we saw. I mean, we went crazy when we saw that, you know. So I understand where she was coming from in terms of the promotional thing. Now, see, here's the thing. Now, of course, everybody didn't like that. The fellas, we liked it, but others came with a more critical eye saying that that was a bad look for black women and she shouldn't have posed like that. Y'all remember the controversy. Now, see, here's another thing that happened, which you wouldn't see a Sexy Red or a Cardi B or a Sukiyana or a Glorilla or a Megan Thee Stallion or hell, even a Nicki Minaj making, this point, which is what Kim did back in 96 or 97. She was on a television show. I can't recall what the show was. And there was a young girl in the audience. And I don't even think this girl was a teenager. She might have been. But Lil Kim was pretty much telling her, and I'm paraphrasing, you shouldn't be listening to my music. You're too young to be listening to my music and stuff like that. And she was, giving this girl, life comments, for the lack of a better way to explain it. But, she appreciated the support on one end, but another end was pretty much woman enough to tell her, you shouldn't be listening to my music. My music is for adults. You should be doing something else with your time. And I respect that because she took the time to tell her that. Whereas, like I said, these girls now, they would not tell no little girl something like that. If anything, they're going to encourage the little girl to listen to the music. They're going to encourage the little girl when they get older to be just like them. They would do it. You notice that they come out and pretty much said they, don't look at them as role models. And I agree with that because Sukiyana, Sexy Red, and the likes of them are not role models for anybody. If you're waking up aspiring to be like them, then you need to talk to somebody, because nobody should be looking up to them in any form. And the last thing that I say about the Lil Kim piece, in addition to what I just said, is Lil Kim had her moments, and when it comes to that hardcore album, I am going to talk about that in another video down the road. But when it comes to Lil Kim in her prime, before she started altering her appearance, because let's keep it real, from 95 all the way up to what, maybe 2003-ish, Kim was cute. Kim looked good. She did not need to change anything about her appearance. She didn't need to change anything, especially when it came to her face. And fellas, if you own the hardcore album, pull out that insert and look at how cute she was circa 1996 and look at how she looked in present day 2024. There's a world of difference there, But getting back on point here. So the thing with Lil Kim is that, yes, Lil Kim had her moments. Verbally, she said a lot of stuff on record. Fellas, y'all know what I'm talking about. Even ladies listening to it, y'all know what I'm talking about. And see, here's another difference before I continue on. Now, Lil Kim had female fans and male fans. Sexxy Red has mostly female fans. And if there are any brothers listening to it or men in general listening to it, I guarantee you that percentage is quite low. I guarantee you that. But getting back on topic here, we're going to Lil Kim. You see, Lil Kim had her moments. She said a lot of controversial things. She did a lot of controversial things, did a lot of stuff that's questionable, But the thing with Lil Kim was she was not out there like Sexxy Red is and her ilk. There's a difference. Lil Kim still carried herself like a lady. She knew when to turn it on and when to turn it off. Lil Kim wasn't hardcore Lil Kim on a 24/7 basis. Sexxy Red, I guarantee you, is Sexxy Red 24/7. There's a big difference here. Lil Kim and those like her, granted, the sexuality was turned up and all that stuff, but they knew how to conduct themselves at least like women. You wouldn't be embarrassed to be seen in public with a Lil Kim, whereas I don't think anybody would be chomping at the bit to be seen in public with Sexxy Red. You see what I'm saying? That whole sort of thing. And people love to bring Lil Kim and Foxy Brown into this discussion. And I just said I wasn't going to bring Foxy Brown into it, but I'm going to stay on topic here. But like I said, Lil Kim had her moments, but there's no comparison between her and Sexxy Red and that ilk, So I just wanted to make those points. Let me continue with the video here.
Them look like they almost not wholesome, but definitely a step, below it, right? I mean, come on. And then those who's coming behind Sexxy Red is even worse than what Sexxy Red is doing. And what it's going to take, ladies, especially you're going to have to wholesale reject that. And let me tell you why you're going to have to reject a Sexxy Red. It's because that woman's image is being laid upon you. Now, you may say, I ain't got nothing to do with that kind of image. I'm not ratchet like that. I'm not doing this sort of thing. You're 100% right. You're not doing it. But I want y'all to notice something. Where is the non-black equivalent of a Sexxy Red that's being platformed in that?
Hello.
I want y'all to pay attention to something. Where is it?
Right.
Now, they have women like that in every community, don't get me wrong. But why do they don't platform
exactly
like they do a Sexxy Red or any other black?
That's right.
Because it's an agenda of the music industry to make sure to always make black women look
exactly
bad. And that's what y'all don't understand. There are white women who are just as ratchet or even more than Sexxy Red is, but they won't platform them. They won't platform them. They'd rather have a Taylor Swift be their representation, not someone like Sexxy Red. Even though they got them same kind of people in their community, any group, you name it, they got the same things going on, but they won't platform it. This system in America is all about trying to do something to use the most worst of the worst image of a black American person and put them on Front Street. And unfortunately, a lot of people don't see that.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't see it. Now let me look at this right here. Look at this backdrop, y'all. Now, looking up there at the top, it looks like this was from the BET Awards, just a few days ago. Look at this backdrop. Now, those who follow me and follow my channel know that I have political aspirations. Okay, so one of my main goals is to be elected to the United States House of Representatives. look at this back capital, y'all. That's a sacred building. Y'all know what it represents. Some positive, some negative. So why even have this? Why? Why even have this? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not catchy. It's not funny. It's not dope. Why?
Or they don't care about it and they go ahead and do that. Listen, after they done with Sexy Red and trust me, she got a shelf life. They're gonna
She
move on and
does.
find somebody else who willing to take that spot. Unfortunately, I'm just keeping it 100 with you.
Yep.
But
This
it's
can
gonna take
continue.
the sisterhood to take a stand against that image. Look, notice the brothers. Notice how brothers talk about Pookie and Ray Ray and say, "Hey, man, we don't like that old
Yep.
thug image. We don't like this. We don't like that. Why?"
And see, again, I know I'm pausing there a lot. Just bear with me. See, us as men, we hold each other accountable. Even if you got some elements that support that life, and the elements are not in large numbers, even though you got elements that support that, you have other self-respecting brothers who will come around and hold those brothers accountable. It's that simple. Whereas women, they're not going to hold each other accountable. Now they start now. Where were y'all before when we was asking y'all to do that? But then it came to a point where you beating down black women, you don't support black women, you're against black women, and all this other nonsense. So now the chickens are starting to come home to roost, y'all.
Because it's dangerous, especially to us as black men. It's dangerous for that kind of image. We
Right.
want images of us that are good, right? And even the rappers today that you have, yeah, they do their little thing, but they're not thugged out like they used to be.
Nope. Nope.
And we always gonna call out Pookie and Ray Ray in the community. Hey, we don't like that dude. We don't like what he got going on. We don't like his image. If you got a dude out here selling out, we say, hey, man, we don't like that sellout, man. Forget that. We don't care if it's another black man. But yeah, it's gonna take more and more women to come out forcefully against this woman. Because trust me, if y'all come out forcefully against this woman and stick to it, trust me, her popularity will drop real quick.
That is true. And the key thing is sticking to it. Don't have this outrage or whatever for a week and then just not talk about it anymore. You have to keep it up. That's what's
It
going to
really
count.
is. I'm sorry. I mean, everything's about filth. Okay, some things, okay, yeah, the beats. It's all the beats are nice. Yeah, the producers, but Sexy Red can't rap. I mean, think about it. She
She sure
cannot
can.
rap. Let's call it what it is.
That's true. She has no lyrical talent. Sukiyana has no lyrical talent. Megan Thee Stallion, okay, maybe, but that's a slight maybe. Cardi B has no lyrical talent. Nicki Minaj, she in her prime, like 2009, 2010 ish, maybe has some things to say, but then again, she became, just another one of them who, the sexuality was on full display. But none of these chicks got any lyrical talent. Glorilla has no lyrical talent. The City Girls, no lyrical talent, no none. MC Light, okay, now I'm using my top 5 favorite female artists of all time. MC Light, Raw Digger, Heather B, Lauryn Hill, and Queen Latifah will run lyrical circles around these girls. Damn
You say,
straight.
okay, Sexy Red rap against a Nicki Minaj, right? Nicki Minaj can rap. She actually can. She can freestyle very well. Now I say, okay, Sexy Red, go ahead and do the same. She can't do that.
And not only can she not do that, but she would probably turn around and look you dead in the face and say, freestyling, what's that? What's freestyling? Can you explain what that is? That's exactly the point that I'm
You know
making.
what I'm saying? Like, and Nikki, Nikki is, done the things Nikki has done, but like I said, she makes Nikki look tame. The things that she do and
Right,
say, and it's just it's filth and degeneracy. And we as a
right.
community got to stand against that crap, the Sexy Reds of the world, and the people behind her too. Because we can't just put it all on Sexy Red. You got to also go after the people behind her, that record label, that
Facts.
management that's pushing that mess. The other day there was a video that, of course, and every she do something, it goes viral. That she was sitting in some mock thing, looked like the Oval Office, and she had a like simulating a white man, you know, uh, giving her head or whatever, right? And I'm like,
Terrible.
she don't think like this isn't like I'm like, come on, even if you're a ratchet, don't you got a limit? Because I know some people who ratchet like, nah, I'm not gonna do no crap like that. They even got their limits,
It's
right?
minimal.
So she even taking it to a
It's
level that even some ratchet people don't even take it to.
it's minimal thought put into
You know
all
what I'm
of
saying?
this.
That's why a lot of these women are coming out against this woman now because she making the sister's image look bad, and they need to call her out. So I mean, hey, a lot of people can't stand her, but they keep watching her. And as long as people keep watching her,
Right.
unfortunately, they're gonna platform her. If you don't want her around anymore, what y'all gotta do is to stop watching her, stop paying attention to her, and she will go away.
Exactly. Good point. So shout out to Philip Scott here. Like I said, fair usage is the fair usage is going to continue because I want to look at some of the comments on his page about this. So look, check this out. This lady says all the women rappers of today are an embarrassment to us as black women. I agree. Ratchetness is being rewarded, unfortunately. That's true. Stop watching her, stop paying attention to her, and she will go away. True. Yep. That's what Philip said. How come our so-called black leaders don't speak out against this behavior? That's a good point. Now, okay, speaking as somebody who is seeking a political career, I would say that the black leaders, most of them, probably not speaking on this because they just simply don't want to get involved. You know, when you have other pressing issues of the day, this is probably at the bottom of the list as far as things that black leaders are going to speak of. Now, I get it. You do want somebody, with credibility to speak on this issue, but at the same time, you have to pick your battles, as my mom would say. And I don't think that this is about any self-respecting black leader would want to pick. Now, let me put it back on me. If I was in office right now, would I speak on this? I don't know. I don't know. You know, but I get it. So let's look at some more comments. Black people are not seen as individuals. We are grouped together by other communities. As black people, we represent more than just ourselves. We represent our community with everything that we do publicly. That's a true comment. I agree. I don't like ratchet, neither do I. We are always talking about Sexy Red, but what about Lotto, Megan, Glorilla, Ice Spice, Cardi B? They're all an embarrassment. Yeah, those are some other names that I didn't mention. Lotto, Ice Spice, yeah, not good. None of them have any lyrical talent. They may be fine on the eyes. They may be visually appealing, but verbally appealing or whatever the case may be, or just listening to them, they have nothing to offer on the lyrical side. Nothing at all. And like I said, ask any of them to freestyle. They're probably going to look at you and wonder what is freestyling? What is that? They never heard of it. I would not be surprised. A, Cardi B is the nastiest entertainer out there. B, Sexy Red, hold my beer. That's true. And even Cardi B, insulted black women, but they still supported her. And again, that thinking being, well, she's not insulting me. Y'all keep thinking that way. We, the FBA, needs to cancel them permanently and not pay them any attention. The damage is already done. Yeah, that's true. Sexy Red has no limit. That's why they're pushing her and giving her a platform. That's true. So good to know that more and more of our women are fighting against this nonsense that Sexy Red portrays. That's true. At least, look, see, here we go. At least Lil Kim had real talent and could rap. Sexy Red has zero talent and can barely string a few words together to form a sentence. That is damn true. I agree 100%. The music establishment purposely put her out front. She does not represent black women. She represents the record label. Black people just need to make sure that they protect their children from this type of nonsense. True. And look, here we go. Men have been saying this for the past 10 years or so. Now women see it. So sad. I agree 100%. This woman definitely understands what Red represents. Time for us black men and women to wake up and stand up and be ashamed of how we act. It's time for actual accountability. Let be able to change for the better, okay? She definitely not sexy. That's true. Finally, black men aren't being blamed for this nonsense. That's true. Attention, black men, this is not your fight. I get that. Sexy Red represents the rap community, not black women, okay? Ice Spice in the same category. I do not listen to female rappers anymore after Meg Thee Stallion, Cardi, Nicki, full stop. These new girls are at the bottom. Okay, now Meg Thee Stallion, Cardi, and Nicki, they not awesome either, but I get that point. And on that point, I'm going to end it right here. You know, so shout out to Philip Scott again for this video. Shout out to the people who left those comments. Those were some real good comments. So yeah, so if people don't start calling this out in droves, then we're going to continue to see it year in, year out. And again, like Philip Scott said, oh yeah, she has a shelf life. So do I think that she's going to be around within the next 3 to 5 years? No. And I think society would be better off for it. Just like Sukiyanas and everybody that, yeah, they got shelf lives, you know. And again, hopefully we get to a point where we never have to hear this mess again. It's that simple. So with all that being said, y'all, if you like what you heard and you're ready to become part of Team Discipline, go ahead and hit that like button and drop some comments if you're feeling the content. And last but not least, hit that subscribe button along with the bell so you're notified when I drop new videos. And yeah, let me know your thoughts on this video overall and Sexxy Red in general. Let me know. And until next time, my people, take care of yourselves. And remember, the power of the mind is valuable. Very, very valuable.